Recently we have been hearing from media and some activists that Sri Lanka actually failed as a country doing organic farming. I just want to let you know that organic farmers never failed in Sri Lanka. In fact, organic farmers were the only group that were successfully able to provide food during that problematic time that Sri Lanka recently had. Organic farmers always did not depend on any chemical fertilizer. They were self-sustainable, making their own fertilizer and compost, and they successfully achieved their farming using organic methods. So I'm going to show you guys how. I'm going to get two experts to explain the scientific part behind this biochar. So I invite our friend Ranil and Sanjay to come and give us a bit of an introduction and an explanation on this. Yeah, Sanjay,
Well,
could
yeah.
you please let me know
Now
what?
this is kind of partially burnt, what do you call paddy husk.
Yeah.
The idea behind it is, Sri Lankan people have been using this for generations.
Yes.
Before the conventional actual farming came into picture, that's how they have been doing the chain of cultivation. I know a lot of people criticize. There's a lot of criticism about chain. One good thing came about chain of cultivation was because there was burning and slashing, and burning provided this biochar. They didn't know it, but that's how biochar came into picture. And then it provided a very good surface for the microbes to go in the first place and the nutrients to hold on to, because biochar has a very high cation exchange capacity. Cation exchange capacity gives the soil the potential to hold on to microorganisms. So the interesting part is some of our soils that in conventional farming, although we apply a lot of chemical fertilizer, the soil can't hold the nutrients in the soil because they leach out, because there's no capacity in the soil to keep the nutrients in the soil. But biochar, especially biochar, gives that ability for the soil to hold all the nutrients.
It holds all the good, beneficial microbes.
Is, yeah. But what we've done is we've carefully incorporated biochar into our compost. So the compost automatically has nutrients. It also contains the favorable microorganisms for the soil. What we've done is we've isolated the favorable microorganisms from the soils, from the local soils, multiplied them, and reintroduced them into the compost. Now, then we have introduced biochar and incorporated it with the compost, so that when you apply that compost, it does not necessarily only give fertilizer, meaning nutrients, but it also helps the soil to become a live organism again, so that it can activate the natural cycles like carbon cycle, the nitrogen cycle, all of that. So that's what happens in organic farming. But the only thing is you can't do it overnight.
Yeah.
Now, if you just have been doing conventional farming for the last whatever decades and you suddenly stop applying chemical fertilizer, you won't be able to expect miracles to happen and suddenly everything gets converted to organic. Yeah. Organic is a slow process where you let the natural cycles to begin again
and regenerate.
And you let the microorganisms to grow and macroorganisms to grow. So it's a living thing, and just because somebody stops applying chemical fertilizer doesn't make it organic.
Exactly.
And you have to let it sort of. That's what we have been doing here.
Thank you, Sanjay. Actually, lots of people, they don't understand that organic fertilizer actually have its science behind it. It's not some kind of bohemian art. It has its own science, as Sanjay explained. The way that we can get the nitrogen, potassium. So, Ranil, maybe you can explain into that a little bit more.
Yes, and this is like soil conditioning part. What we are doing here.
Yeah.
In the organic farming, we have to give food to the roots as well as we have to give another supplementary to the leaves. So next thing we have there is the food supplementary that we are giving to the plants. combination with this organic compost. So let's go that side, and I will show you the liquid fertilizer that we are preparing in the farm. That liquid fertilizer contain 1% to 4% nitrogen. So basically urea contain 48% nitrogen, but the things that we are preparing in our own farm contain maximum 4% nitrogen. So we diluted it into 10 times and we spray to the leaves. So it gives better and best performance from the plants.
But like I said, I mean, there's 70%. The 70% of what we breathe in is nitrogen.
Exactly.
But you can't just absorb. I mean, the plants can't just absorb it in that exact form. But that's where microbes come in, and they make it available for the plants to be able to absorb. And that's the only thing that we facilitate. We don't do any miracles here.
Yes.
Just let the nitrogen from the atmosphere, let nature take
care of it. Yeah. Fabulous. There you have it. So organic farming has its science behind it. So if you think that organic farming is not possible, here, the evidence. Try it yourself.